like to welcome the class of 2018 to their induction ceremony into the East Coast Surfing Hall of Fame. You know, the East Coast is kind of different than the West Coast. We've got a lot of freaking people that live from Key West all the way up to Maine. And we have a lot of states and a lot of surfers. And we have a great representation of that diversity on this stage tonight. And it goes to show the East Coast has such a proud heritage, and that's what we celebrate, and that was why Greg Knoll and Cecil Lear came together and founded the East Coast Surfing Hall of Fame. You don't have people in California going and inducting people from Oregon into the West Coast Hall of Fame, or from Seattle or Washington State in the West Coast Hall of Fame, because I don't think they have such a thing. So how about it? The East Coast. We are proud to be East Coast surfers. And you'll hear tonight how the influence of East Coast surfers has had on the sport of surfing. So without further ado, we'll get into this. We got a great night planned for you. Something new this year. Fits into our mission of bringing the surfers into the fold of the East Coast Surfing Hall of Fame. Tonight, we'll be taking a brief moment to honor the current crop of ESA East Coast talent. But before we get into the main event of inducting these legends, we want to let everybody know up here, you already did one photo op, and I've never seen such a paparazzi before in my life for surfing. It was amazing how long that went on. And so we're going to do it again. So you guys are going to be extra stoked because you'll have your trophies. So that'll be another photo opportunity. So don't leave the stage. Please stay put. And the first order of the business is to thank our one and only sponsor of this event. And it's happened only because of such a great cooperation and the love of our friends and the staff of Surf Expo. We'd like to recognize one of us, and I've said this every induction that I do, but it is really a pleasure to know that Roy Turner, who is one of us, a skateboarder, a surfer, one of us who has been out there and getting their head wet on a daily basis, Mr. Roy Turner and his staff, Steve Fisher, Adrian Belt, and Sandra LaFranc. Thank you so much, Roy. It is such an honor to have you guys do this and host this event. It is really grandiose. All right, so we want to move on to our selection process. So many people want to know, well, how did these guys get up here? What does that take? And there's a lot of stories out there. People will say, especially on the East Coast Surfing Hall of Fame Facebook page, oh, this guy should be in there. Oh, this guy should be in there. This girl should be in there. Well, there's a process that goes on with that. There's 24 Hall of Famers who vote on makes the final cut. So the first thing, and let's just make this clear, if you think somebody should be in the East Coast Surfing Hall of Fame, they need to have a nomination letter or email to officially nominate somebody, and what is their reason for being nominated, and send that in. And that list generally is 70, 80, 90 in a year, 100, 120, who knows. But the 24 Hall of Famers vote on who makes the final cut before we send it out there and start getting feedback to get into this Hall of Fame. So if you know somebody that you really feel deserves it, write up a good nomination, send it in. We have 24 members of the Hall of Fame vote on makes the final edit, so then we whittle that down to about 25 or 30 nominees in each different category, and then it's sent out to a committee of Hall of Fame people that are already in the Hall of Fame and the media, and we vote on it, and that's how these people end up on this stage. So that's the process. You know, it's great to hear these stories about who should be in here, but make a nomination, send it in, and we will figure it out. Tonight we have a really special deal going on because we have the passing of the torch, so to speak, from what he's now known as, and I want to know who came up with this name. He's now the President Emeritus. It's Italian. Thank you, Gru. I appreciate that. President Emeritus Cecil Lear, right here in front. Because Cecil Lear sat down with Greg Knoll, and Greg Knoll from the West Coast said, you know, you guys should really have an East Coast Surfing Hall of Fame. And Cecil agreed, and they put it together. So Greg Knoll, God rest his soul that he's not here with us today because he speaks so eloquently. You know, I wish he was up here because he opens up to some F-bombs and some this and that. So, you know, I might relax my speech a little bit tonight because Greg Knoll can do it. But anyway, we're going to pass the torch along tonight. After 25 years of service, dedication, and unmatched enthusiasm, we want to thank Cecil Lear. Cecil Lear, let's hear it for him. Without Cecil, none of us would be here tonight. So I'm going to introduce our new president of the East Coast Surfing Hall of Fame from New Jersey, Gary Germain.
So it's been a privilege to know Cecil for 50 years. He's a New Jersey Hall of Famer, an East Coast Hall of Famer. He's also a member of the Eastern Surfing Championship Hall of Fame in Virginia Beach. Also one of 2 people to be awarded by the Surfing Heritage and Cultural Center Lifetime Achievement Award. And it's big shoes to fill, but Cecil, you should know, no matter who's president, who's on the board, this is always going to be your show. So, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you, Gary. First, I just want to say thanks to Greg. I wish he was here. If it wasn't for Bob Holland and Pete Smith and Greg saying, I want to start this Hall of Fame for the East Coasters, and they said, you got to get a hold of Cecil, I would have never been here, and I never would have had all these buddies and friends and all of you great champions and honorees. Gary is a wonderful guy. I've known him since he was in the ESA probably back when he was 14 years old, then he became a director. And now he's took out the New Jersey Hall of Fame, and now he's with us. He's got great vision, a wonderful plan, and we're going to take the ESA, he is going to take the ESA and his crew to greater heights, and God bless you, Gary. Thank you all. It's a wonderful family. I'll be back to hang out and have fun with everybody. God bless.
Well, as President Emeritus, he's not going anywhere. He's attached at the hip. He's a Jersey guy. He's not getting out till we let him out.